Hey, basketball coaches and basketball players, my name is Alan from Al's Basketball Training, and today I'm going to give you some fantastic, easy basketball plays that you can run against the 2-3 zone defense. Let's get down to the clipboard and let's check these out. Okay, so first we're going to have player 1 pass over to player 2. That's going to bring and shift the defense over just like this. Next, we're going to have player 5 setting a back screen on player 2, and player 1 is going to cut towards the low block and then pop out. When he pops out, he may be open for a 3-point shot. That is option number 1. Player 3 red is going to go down and defend player 1, however. And next, we're going to be having player 2 cut towards the net. Now, the reason for this is because now player 2 red has popped out to player 2 blue. Player 1 is covering the reverse swing pass, and player 4 is covering that low block. Next, what we're going to be having is, after player 2 cuts down towards the low block, we're going to be seeing player 2 red do one of two things. Number 1, player 2 may be popping down to try and cut off a swing pass from player 1 and possibly try to trap him in that corner. If that happens, we need to get that ball to player 5 because now he may have a shot from that high post, but by passing it to the high post, that is drawing up player 5 red, and this may be a nice high to low pass for an easy layup. That's one option. This could now also bring player 2 in, and if he's quick, what we want to see happen now is player 5 and 1 do a dribble handoff, and we can do the exact same thing on the other side by swinging that ball. So player 3 is going to come to the point. We're going to have player 1 pass over to player 3. Player 3 is going to then dribble over towards this right side, and we want to see player 2. He is going to be now going over towards this high post on this side, and we're going to be passing over to player 4. Now, player 4, if we can do this fast enough, could have a shot, but we're most likely going to be having the defense shift just like this, in which case either player 4 is going to be popping up to guard player 4 blue, or player 1 will be running that whole distance. Most likely, player 1 will be guarding player 3, and player 4 will be popping up. That's the most likely scenario. When this happens, player 2 sets that back screen. We could hit that player 3. Hopefully, he has a shot. If he doesn't, and player 4 pops down, player 1 moves over, we're going to have player 2 in that high post. Player 4 is going to be cutting through. That could bring now player 2 the ability to hit that high post shot. If not, that could bring player 5 out, and player 4 will have that open low post shot. But this is more or less a motion offense that's a little bit advanced, but as a set play, quite simple. Now, another simple set play that you could run is having player 1 pass over to player 2 and cutting across the key. The reason why we're cutting across the key is because now player 2 is going to pass over to player 3, and this is going to be shifting the defense. Now, what I want to see happen is player 2, I want him cutting down on this side of the key. The reason for that is it's going to preoccupy player 5. Now, we could pass to player 2 and get the defense to collapse. That is one option. But what you're most likely going to see is next, none of those players are open. We're going to have player 5 popping to the high post. Player 2 is going to stay down. We're going to have player 3 pass to player 5 for that shot. That could bring up player 5, which leaves player 2 open. There's a few different options that could happen. Now, against the 2-3, if you have the ball up top, you're most likely going to be having these two players trapping up top because that's in the middle of their zone, and generally in the middle of the zone, that is the gap, in which case they are trying to double team. What I want to see out of this is player 1 passing to the high post, one of the two players, either player 4 or player 5. Once player 4 gets that ball, that's going to be bringing player 3 down, player 5 out, and player 4 guarding player 3. Now, that's going to bring player 1 down and player 2 down. What I want to see happen now is player 1, after that pass, cutting towards that low block. The reason? Player 4 could have had that shot open. That is an option. But by cutting down towards that low block, player 4 is going to be able to pass down to player 1, and he's going to be able to hit that layup. Now, another option that could come out of this is I want to see player 3 run towards the baseline as soon as player 1 gets that ball, same as player 2 and same as player 5. Now there's a reason behind this. If player 1 gets covered by player 5, he's going to now have player 4 also possibly popping down, and he'll be able to kick out the player 3. By having player 2 down there, that's also another option for player 1 to kick out what's called a hammer pass out to player 2. Another option that could happen is player 3 could scramble down to try and defend that, in which case we now have player 5 cutting towards the block, the baseline, and player 1 could pass over to player 5 for the layup. Now that last play is personally one of my favorites. It's so simple to run. It's just an entry pass to the high post. You cut to the block. Everyone else drives or dives towards the baseline. You have a high to low pass, and you're either going to have a shot from the free throw line, you're going to have a shot from the low block, you're going to have two options for shots from the corner threes, or you're going to have an option for player 5 in this case to cut down towards that low block. Now, all three of these plays are really easy to run with pretty well any team over the age of grade 7 or grade 8. And if you are running it with a younger team, like maybe a U10 team or a U9 team, that last play is going to be easy enough for your team to run. I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again later on with another video.